people, how are you on this beautiful rainy cloudy Monday for those who live here in Newcastle or nearby? Anyway, today will be a short live like the one I like to do, just as a wisdom drop, something you can, to give you something you can live with and think about and meditate about, just to practice this mind gymnastic that I love so much. So speaking of which, today we're talking about divergent thinking differently, which is basically what I based my life on. It's everything that I do every day since I don't know how many years, but it's been at least a decade and probably more than that, probably since I am a child, really. It's been a while. It's everything I love because you can really practice this, mind gymnastic where you try to, the saying when they say don't judge somebody unless because you never walked with his shoes or something like it. I don't remember exactly, but this is the spirit. It's basically trying to take any of the thoughts that you have and try to turn your thoughts 180 degrees back. So you really turn it in a complete different way and try to think completely differently, and you let your thoughts wander just in any direction, really. There is no point to that thinking. It's just a way for you to practice this idea of thinking differently. I think I say that. I definitely say that. It's something I talked about in my newsletter today. So for those who didn't, and I know some of you didn't, subscribe to my newsletter. You can do it. I'll pop the link in the comments so you can click on it and sign up. I send regular, almost daily, weekly-ish newsletter about stuff and about ideas and philosophy and wisdom, and usually there's always a couple of exercises for you to practice, some homework to do. I'm all about homework. Anyway, I've been digressing. So the divergent thinking is really the way to think differently. It's the way for people to use the mind at its best. It's the way for people to move from the action-reaction process to move into the third dimension, where you reach a third possibility, a third solution. So basically, when you've got an issue, you always think, okay, I've got this answer or that answer, but you don't really think further than that. Well, what I suggest, like the first step, the basic step, the first baby step, you can do is to start looking for a third option. As soon as you start looking for the third option, you already moving away from that vicious circle of action-reaction and instead creating something. You activate your creative process, your creative brain to find a real, sustainable, happy, whatever you want, solution. Something that suits you instead of directly that's the thing, isn't it? I was about to say the instinct, but it's something you have to think carefully about. Well, in this case, what I mean with instinct is everything you've been conditioned to think about. Like your first reaction would be something that it is not you, but instead something that you've been taught to. Something that society, family, traditions, everything. They taught you how to react in those situations. Following me so far? Right. So this is why, like, instinct in that way is not like a good instinct, even though there is nothing such as good or bad. But yeah, for the purpose of that video, let's call it that way. And you need to move away from that. You need to move away from what you think would be a good answer. You need now to start looking for something else, something that has a deeper meaning for you, something that's better suited to you, you know? A real answer, a real solution, not something that you've been taught that is a good answer, but instead something that you come up with and you don't even know how. You just being creative. You can just, for instance, first solution, you can mix the two solutions together, make them work together. You can start looking for something completely different, and as soon as you start looking for this third solution, you'll see that usually you come up with a ton of other solutions. So this is the first steps to start practicing divergent thinking. It's just a way for you to start thinking differently by practicing it when you have choices to make. And first and foremost, you need to start asking yourself, all right, is this ideas that come to my mind is something genuine, something that I really feel happy about? Or is it something that I know because of my environment that is a good answer? That's totally different. And this was, again, one of the topic of my newsletters or blog, I can't remember, was about these two happinesses that we have. I call it like the ego, the mind's happiness, and the soul, the inner self happiness. And basically, that's pretty easy again. We were speaking about the instinct and about making this difference between your instinct, something that's true and that comes from within you, and your instinct that comes from what you've learned and what you've been taught, right? Well, this is again the same. You can either make your mind happy, make your ego happy, and this is really fine by me. It's perfect, it's brilliant. It's one of the ways to be happy, really. As long as you're happy, that's all it is about. But in this situation, you are feeling proud, you feel that you've achieved something, and you feel somehow that you are playing the game better than somebody else. You feel this sensation of satisfaction because you've ticked all the things in your to-do list, you know? You can feel this pride. Yeah, most of the times it is connected to the pride. Rather than in the other happiness, the soul, inner self, heart, whatever, happiness. This situation, it's something that it's closer to contentment, something closer to joyfulness. Joy, at least. That's all. Something that is genuinely making you happy. You don't always know why. It doesn't always make sense. It's not something rational. Not always. It can be. But you can feel that it comes with a sensation of relief and relaxation, basically. So it's something that comes from within you. It is a happiness. You can feel that everything's okay and there is nothing to worry about. This is the soul happiness, and this is the one I like the most. This is the only one I found, because I've practiced both of them, that brings me the more joy and true happiness, and less stress, much less stress than the other one, because the other one always come with, well, you've got to defend your prize, you know, you've got to defend what you've earned, so it's never finished. You're always in the game, you always have more to achieve, you always have a next dream to chase, you always have something else to pursue. So you never feel quite content and just happy to be there. And since, well, one of the most powerful books I've read is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. since I've read that book, I really tried to practice it, and I am getting better and better at it. Not always, it's a work in progress, but I can tell that I feel this sensation of being there, being present, being there now, and that comes with, well, the soul happiness, So, if you ever want to just stop there and breathe deeply and just think about everything that I said. Think about, even if you just pick one idea that we talked about during this little life, you can just start thinking and let your thoughts wander and just let yourself dream a little and see how you feel, and let this energy flowing and just see where it goes, where will it leave you. And again, don't always look for sense here. It might not make sense, and that's fine. Just let it go and start turning your thoughts backwards. Start thinking differently. Start imagining that you grew up in a totally different world where maybe the best thing to do was to be an astronaut, and that everybody just wanted to be an astronaut, and that there was cool, and most of the people were fighting just to be an astronaut. Like everybody just wanted to be an astronaut. It wasn't something that just a few people could achieve. It was really something that everyone wanted to achieve. So what would it change? Or maybe a world where being a clown would be the best thing you can ever do with your life. How would it change you? Just start thinking about all of that, and then you'll find more freedom in your thoughts and more peace in your mind. It will be much easier because you'll find that, you'll find that freedom. You'll just find yourself by realizing what comes with the environment, what impacts you, and what is truly is you. You can just start being you, which is the point, isn't it? On that note, let me tell you one last thing before we end up that live. HYBHYL, Honor Your Body, Honor Your Life, is now live and will be starting on Monday 21st. So it will be, well, everything that I am, because obviously I'll be teaching it. So it will be about the body, the mind, and the soul, something where science and spirituality make sense and can work together. So we'll be working on the posture. We'll be connecting the posture, how you look. I'll be asking you, for instance, take a picture of yourself so you can see yourself for who you are, like physically at least, and we can work on that picture and see how does it feel, how does it look like, which resistance appears to be, and then we can step by step start working on your emotions, working on all the different levels. That's why it's called Honor Your Body, Honor Your Life, because we'll start with the body and then progressively we'll be working on every level. We'll be first and foremost start with the body, work on the body, improve the body, be healthier, feel better, all of that, look better, why not? Even though it is not a fitness training, again, we'll just be working on it and getting ideas and inspiration to do more of that. But it's not a fitness training. And then there will be the mind, the mindset, how you think differently, talking about it, how you see yourself, how you feel your emotions, what emotion do you have, how you can feel relaxed, do you feel stressed, working on all of this little thing, the sense of unworthiness, the self-empowerment, all of its idea will work with visualization, relaxation, meditations, journaling prompts, all of that, so you can really set up your mind to this real you that you want to embody and bring to life and create a life based on that person that you truly are. And then obviously the deeper level, the soul level, the inner self level, the heart level, this part within you that just scream to be heard and that just want so badly to be part of this life, that just want to be alive, that just want to express him or herself. So we'll be working on all of that, and this is why it takes 3 weeks. It will be intense. We'll go live almost every day. You'll get inspiration quotes, affirmations, all of that stuff to keep you inspired, to keep you connected, to really help you create or embody, more than create, this life that you deeply know if you just stop for a second and spend time with yourself, that you know is available and it is you, it is yours. All right? Send me a message, drop me a text, me a Facebook message, like anything, pigeon, whatever, so you can let me know what your thoughts are about it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll drop the link with the website link about Honor Your Body, Honor Your Life, so you can have a look, see a little bit more about it, and again, ask me a question if you feel like it too. I'll see you tomorrow for the mini mastermind class that happens in the Life Genius group, so you can join me there. It will be at 11 a.m. ish. And I don't know yet what we'll be talking about, but that would be great. It lasts about an hour, more or less. And that's it. I wish you a very lovely evening, and I'll see you soon. Take care.